Has Manchester United been given the green light to proceed and bring in Jean-Clair Todibo in Jan? I'll tell you why this could be so. Subscribe to the Hotspot. My name is Webb. A very good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are tuned into the Hotspot. Are you excited? The Premier League returns this weekend and United will be traveling to Goodison to take on Everton, where we've got some news, of course, in terms of injuries. We know that Luke Shaw is back. Hoyland is back. There's a bit of a boost and a new fire within the club, but I'll give you more fire within Man United now because a rule that wanted to be banned by certain clubs, 13 clubs were voting to ban a rule that would allow clubs to loan players in Jan from affiliate clubs anywhere in the world. Now, 13 clubs voted against this rule, but they were short by one. They needed to be 14 for it to be through. So, meaning now that officially it stands, Premier League clubs will be allowed to sign players from affiliate clubs on loan in January. Now, the first beneficiary and the biggest beneficiary of this rule is obviously Newcastle United. Now, after, of course, the acquisition in October 2021, when they were acquired by a group led by the Saudi big investors, the Public Investment Fund. Clearly, we knew by default, by osmosis, that Newcastle were now affiliated to the big four in Saudi Arabia. That is Al Nassr, that is Cristiano Ronaldo's club, Al Ittihad, Al Hilal, and the fourth one is, I think, Al Ettifaq, Al Ahli rather. That's the fourth club owned by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. Now, that fund is the same fund that owns Newcastle United now, meaning that Newcastle is affiliated to all those four clubs by osmosis. Yeah, interesting. Football today is interesting, isn't it? But now, what the new rule means is that Newcastle will be able to get players in January if they want on loan from any of those clubs. Cristiano Ronaldo can end up at Newcastle on loan freely in Jan. Sadio Mane can end up at Newcastle on loan in Jan. He also plays for Al Nassr. But the most important player they have been looking at right now has been Ruben Neves, the former captain of Wolves. So Newcastle United wanted a replacement for Tonali, who was banned for months because of breaching match fixing rules. So meaning now that Newcastle United has got the luxury, Eddie Howe, strong as they are just a point below United, can boost their squad in Jan massively, massively. In terms of money, if I were them, I would go for Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way, because then that would mean massive sales of shirts and t-shirts, even in that small period in Jan. They would make a lot of money and recover a lot of the money they spent in signing players if they brought in Cristiano Ronaldo, even Sadio Mane joining Newcastle. So if I were them, I would go for those big stars just for the money. But anyhow, I'm not here to dwell on Newcastle. Let me just give you my interpretation on this rule and how it could favor Manchester United. Manchester City has got affiliate clubs the likes of Melbourne City, the likes of Girona FC here. They have got so many all over the world. Maybe City might not need a single player on loan in Jan. If they want, they could get. But who really from those players? I don't think there are so many players that would need. But for United, this is why I think this rule favors United in a way. The moment we confirm Sir Jim Ratcliffe as a co-owner of Manchester United, 25% stake in United, and this is my interpretation of the rule, and I hope I'm right, that 25, these rules can be interesting sometimes, by the way. They can say this but mean different things and clauses that do not allow. But this is my interpretation. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe is confirmed, which is likely going to happen before the end of this or next week, confirmed as a 25%, is a matter of time, question of when, not if. Obviously, before Jan, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be confirmed as a 25% stakeholder, owner of Manchester United, in charge of football. Now, remember, he's also the man who owns Niche, the club that owns JEAN-CLAIR Todibo. Now, if he comes in and is confirmed, so meaning by default, I would love to say by osmosis. I don't remember the last time I said the word osmosis. I have said it how many times today. I last said it in school when I was still, I think, doing science, biology, in my secondary A level. But I think even O level, that was O level science. Anyway, so by osmosis, yes, Manchester United will be affiliated to Niche. So we will have a new sister club, like they would call it in France, because of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Now, what does that mean? It means now that United can get any player we want on loan in January from Niche. Yes, because we are affiliated to Niche. So JEAN-CLAIR Todibo, who has got a 30 million euro buyout clause in his contract, United might not need to worry about that money, the 30 million in Jan, because clearly we won't have the money. Hey, even in the summer we didn't have money to spend. We don't expect to have money in Jan because obviously we will not sell a single player in Jan, knowing the United we have, unless their new the new CEO and of course the new director of football, aggressive guys. Paul Mitchell comes in. These are aggressive guys who can vend players if they have to. But still in Jan, it will be difficult to get a club, maybe in Saudi, giving us reasonable money for any player. So we don't expect for us to sell players in Jan, really. If it does happen, it will be good, but I don't expect it to happen. Would it be? Is it something I would want? Yes, I think I would want Varane to go in Jan. I would want certain players to leave. Anthony Martial, probably, if we can get money for them. But the situation now is United might not be able to sell in Jan, yet we are in a sell to buy situation. The financial fair play means you've got to sell players to buy players. We don't have money, we need to sell. In Jan, we might not sell, but this window gives us a chance to solve a massive problem we have. The biggest problem United has now is in the centre back and the midfield, of course, because Amrabat has failed to live up to the expectations. But Amrabat played well 90 minutes for Morocco, by the way, in their game against Tanzania, which they won. But he has not, picked up. And remember, he's a loanee, so he's also on loan. So I think for us being able, any chance of us getting Todibo, a big centre back like him, we've wanted him from the last summer when we failed to get Kim Minje. Todibo was, I think, the second or third priority of a centre back we wanted. There was Todibo and Axel Disasi, who later joined Chelsea. So Todibo is the only left guy that United has been stuck on. So if the new technical guys come in, the new sporting director come and they agree with Eric Ten Hag that actually this guy is good, then I think we should be able to go for him in Jan and get him through the back door. This for me would be like a back door. Sneak him in, not pay the 30 million, but sneak him in because we are affiliated to Niche now through Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Do I care? I don't care. All I care about is seeing Todibo at United because we need a big centre back. He can also play as right back, so meaning he can be an able number 2 for one. He's a starting centre back, but the backup for one Bissaka. If Bissaka is out, forget about Dalo. We have Todibo playing on the right and still have maybe one of the other centre backs come in and fit and play alongside Martinez. Of course, I'm now imagining when the whole squad is fit because when we are fully fit, we have Todibo in. Centre back partnering would be Todibo and Martinez when everyone is fit. That's the ideal. On the left, Luke Shaw and Wan Bissaka on the right. That's a solid backline. That's a solid backline. That's a solid backline. So for me, this is good news. So if my interpretation is accurate and we confirm Sir Jim Ratcliffe, then trust me, in Jan, Jean-Claire Todibo is coming to Manchester United. Big, massive development that would be for this club because that will then have solved a massive problem for us. And I would love the fact that we'll be solving positions in bits. Remember, United now is focused on getting a centre back and a striker, a second striker to support Højlund. I think if we bring in a centre back through the back door, sneak him in from Niche by our affiliate, by virtue of our affiliation to Niche, we can still find a striker on loan in Jan. We can then think about getting any striker on loan, not on a permanent, on loan in Jan because we don't have money, we understand. And then we wait for the summer when we will offload this whole bunch of, players in their excess, in their surplus, get some money and sign permanent players in different positions. Perhaps pay Niche the 30 million. 30 million euros is not a lot of money. I feel like it's peanuts. I feel like it's little money. I don't even know why we didn't pay that money in the summer and get Todibo. Probably, of course, the confusion was so much when Ten Hag was fascinated with Mount and what we would understand. But anyway, so that is where we are. United could have been given the green light, an indirect green light, to go and bring in Jean-Claire Todibo to Old Trafford in Jan. That would be massive. For me, we need to start making improvements in Jan, actually as early as yesterday, because November and December are going to be tough months. We have some tough games in December. We've got tough games in December. Goodness, we've got Liverpool, we've got Newcastle, we've got Chelsea, we've got we've got tough games. We've got a return game against Nottingham Forest that we struggled to beat. Remember in the first leg at Old Trafford. Go. December is going to be tough. So in Jan, we need to be as strong as we can be, and bring in Todibo early in Jan, I think, would give us a lot of strength, and maybe we would have a stronger squad to recover for the so many points we could have lost between in November and December, because I'm sure we're going to lose a few points. Let's be prepared for that. That's my honest opinion. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. Are you excited that we could get Todibo? Let me know what you think. I'll catch you later, fam.